The message from humanitarian agencies the moment Israel announced this partial relaxation of aid restrictions across Gaza was that there would be no quick fix to the starvation crisis gripping the Strip. And that is certainly showing to be the case in the first 2 days of these extra aid deliveries being allowed into Gaza and the creation of so-called humanitarian corridors or secure corridors to try to get some of that aid piling up at the border into the Strip where it is needed. The number of people dying from starvation continues to grow. So too the number of Palestinians killed and injured trying to seek aid. More airdrops of aid have been made across Gaza, including by the Royal Jordanian Air Force. The German government has announced it'll join the missions, coordinating with the Jordanians. While much has been made of this method and any aid being dropped is welcome, there are concerns about reliance on airdrops, with fears it's unsafe, ineffective and no substitute for on-the-ground aid distribution, such as that which was previously run on a large scale by the United Nations and its agencies.
We do this on the basis of need, making sure that it goes to the most vulnerable people. So these kinds of methods, they can exclude various people and layers of population, like women, for example, or children. And so this is not the most effective way to do this.
Even as those aid restrictions are eased and so-called humanitarian pauses in the fighting are put in place in some parts of Gaza, the IDF is continuing its bombardment of the Strip. And Israel's defense minister has issued another warning to Hamas if it refuses to negotiate on the release of the remaining 50 Israeli hostages still held captive by the group.
I say from here, in the clearest way, and I mean every word, if Hamas does not release the hostages, the gates of hell will open in Gaza. Beyond what is being done with great force, we will do, and we will do much more.
The situation in Gaza has been the focus of leaders gathering at the United Nations in New York at a conference looking at the prospect of a two-state solution in the Middle East. But the United States and Israel boycotted that event. Meanwhile, here in Jerusalem, two of Israel's most prominent human rights organisations have taken the step to label Israel's conduct in Gaza as genocide. Both organisations have been critical of the Israeli government and military in the past, but it is a significant move and adds to the international debate as to whether Israel's conduct in the Strip has crossed a red line, or indeed when it crossed a red line. B'Tselem and Physicians for Human Rights issued dual reports at the same time, both coming to the conclusion Israel's conduct in Gaza was aimed at destroying the Palestinian population there, and that while Israel has rejected accusations of genocide, saying its war is with Hamas and not the Palestinian people, and that it's Hamas seeking to destroy Israel, the two organisations argue the evidence on the ground is impossible to ignore.
In the face of genocide, our duty is to struggle to stop it. The international community has not only failed in its duty to stop the atrocities, but also share responsibility by providing support that enables Israel acts of destruction.
The groups insisted that Hamas's deadly attacks on Israel back on the 7th of October 2023 were horrific, that they were criminal, and have described that event as the catalyst for what's been seen in Gaza over almost 22 months of war. But the groups also argue that that response from Israel crossed a dangerous threshold many, many months ago, and it's rooted in 7 decades of Israeli oppression against the Palestinian population, something Israel has repeatedly rejected.